Hey.
Hey, baby, welcome to the panel tonight, man.
Yes,
Hey,
indeed.
we jamming
Rest in
out.
peace, Bobby Caldwell.
We got the music playing.
There go my boy EST.
What's up, Ace?
What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
How you doing, Jimmy?
Good, brother.
Yeah,
How are
dude,
you, man?
I'm
so
good.
check
Another
this
day,
out.
man.
Good, brother.
I was jamming out the Bobby Caldwell a little bit before, because he passed today.
Who's
I
that?
always thought he was black. I ain't gonna lie.
Who?
Bobby Caldwell. He got some
You never
soul
heard
in
the
him.
song?
You can stop him.
Yeah, yeah.
We thought, don't tell me you didn't think he was black, EST.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people did.
The BGs will catch you up too if you ain't see them. The BGs will
Oh,
get
I
you.
love the Bee Gees.
Michael McDonald,
Yeah, Hall and Oates.
Holland Oaks. I'm
But
saying
Yeah.
I'll
yeah,
come up.
we here at the panel. We just wanted to show some love to Bobby Caldwell, the talented artist. He
Facts,
died
facts.
peacefully in his bed today. I think they said, I forgot his age, 78 or something like that.
He
We'll
was
figure
like
it out.
79 or 71, somewhere between there.
Yeah.
I know
But
that's
the funny thing about that man, he had some soul in his voice, and he was really
Yeah, man.
talented. So rest
That
in
was
peace to Bobby Caldwell, and that was one
yes,
of my
sir.
favorite songs of all time. I ain't gonna lie. Even Tupac remade that song, and a lot of people remade that song.
Hey, a
But
lot of
you know,
music in the 70s was awesome, bro. There
Yeah.
was a lot of great 70s music.
Yes, sir. Well, let's get into it though.
All right. So did you guys hear about Rasheem Carter?
Rasheem
Okay,
Carter.
so Rasheem Carter. So this kid was missing. He's 25 years old. He's been missing. Well, he was missing for a month before they found his body last year in Mississippi, right? Allegedly, this man was chased by 3 truckloads of white guys. He was beat,
Motherfucker.
castrated.
Pardon my expression.
They broke his fingers. They dug his eyes out. They
Okay,
mutilated
but
him.
what happened? Was he not to sound like insensitive to the situation? It sound crazy, but do you
I
know
don't know what happened. So there's no motive as of yet. We don't know what the motive was.
Did they
So
ever
it looks
have a motive?
uh not in Mississippi, but it looks like what Ben Crump is saying, because he's about to represent the family. He also represented a lot of famous folks, Breonna Taylor, a whole bunch of people's families. After
Right.
shootings and things like that, or hate crimes.
He
And
don't
so
win too
he's
often, but he
representing.
be out there.
He
he be
do be
out there?
out.
Well, obviously, it's some wrongdoing if he's involved. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
he called it a lynching, a modern day lynching in Mississippi. And after they were done mutilating this man's body, they poured acid on him, and then they fed him to hogs.
Oh my God.
Are we surprised? Are we surprised
Not
though?
at all. Not at
Oh,
all.
okay.
And he has a
Well,
Okay.
7-year-old
I
daughter. So,
am.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm not a
sensitive to
cynical
him.
person around thinking everybody is bad and all white people are this or that and this. I know the history of America, but at the same time, when you hear shit like this, I do get surprised at the level of of treachery that human beings could go to, and that's why I want to know why. Even though there's no excuse to be treated like that, but dudes, gangsters
What
kill
was the
gangsters
purpose?
all day,
Yeah.
and
And
we
what was
get
this
rid of
at again,
bodies
Malika?
certain way.
In
That's just suspicious.
Taylorsville, Mississippi.
Taylorsville, Mississippi, Bush.
Oh, my boy from the south, he could tell me a little something about that. I don't know. Let ESC get
Bro.
it on this,
That's
but
like
I'm just
Jasper, Texas,
Uh,
right? One of those towns you just don't roll to.
yeah, I mean Alabama, Mississippi. It's kind of like it's tough, man. You gotta understand they still operating kind of to me under the Confederacy, even though it's not out there like that. They still operate under the Confederacy, and some of these I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
see, and this is not broad to all white people because I got friends and I know it's none of that. It's just we can't be naive to what happens. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying? And we can't and we got to stop taking personalized instances like we all know Jimmy and we all cool with Jimmy to let that decide the broad general
Yeah, but
aspect of it.
what's being naive? You talking about us talking about it naive, or him ended up in that situation? He
Okay,
was
okay, let
being
me ask you
naive.
this. We all know it's some city called what they call them sundown cities.
Yes,
I don't
Jasper,
know
Texas
about that
is one of
term.
those. Yeah, so
Okay, so
Sunday
that
after,
that
if you're a black man, you gotta get your ass out of town before the sun
Oh
comes
my
down.
god.
You gotta be hidden
and you
somewhere before the sun.
and you think it's play, but that's actual real life for some people.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not that young, I'm not that old, but I told Jimmy a story like years ago, which made him so upset about when we were down south and how the people told my mom get that black baby up out of here because basically she was rushed out the hospital. You know what I mean?
In
So
Knoxville,
I got an
Tennessee,
understanding of the racism, but I just feel like, come on, man. But when it comes to killing a man for his skin color, I'm like, I just can't see it. And he
Okay,
must have.
let
I
me give
get
you
it,
another
but in
See
that
example.
it. It
same
still
town,
go down, but
Where I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. We got a historic incident that happened when the
yeah,
KKK
the county
pulled up
city.
to
Yeah.
right, and
mm,
somebody ended up getting killed. But we already know firsthand, where
wait, what happened? My bad. I'm sorry.
it was a meeting or a rally amongst the black people, right? Back then they were utilizing and getting together much more than what we doing now, and
Yeah.
the KKK spent the block, and somebody
Wow.
ended up getting killed.
See?
Oh
Point
man,
point blank
I know
period.
they out there, but
And to go back to your story, Bush, about where you were born and everything. So
Mhm.
I remember because I'm your older sister. I was there with you, and
Mhm.
I remember seeing a march of KKK, and it was women and children. I was 6 years old.
Mm.
It's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
same city you were born in.
So
That's why I
why
was
is
back.
this story is not like making any type of noise? I'm not hearing nothing about it. Like say in Brooklyn, for instance, a bunch of black kids grab a Jew kid, a Jewish
Oh,
Everybody.
human being, and do that to that person. Like
oh,
imagine it's just like, and I ain't gonna go into some other stuff that we're gonna get into later as far as the Asian communities. Other communities are taken care of certain ways, and right now that I'm appalled that I didn't know about this shit. I'm like, how the fuck I didn't really
I mean,
like.
it's isolated. It's a small city. It's kind of the norm there. I wouldn't say to this extent, but for the most part, it's nomenclature for them down there to where it's not going to
Yeah.
reach. Not a lot of stuff hit the news from Mississippi and Alabama anyway. Let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah,
Hey,
and that's why
listen,
when we
it's
find
your
out
upbringing.
stories, we got to
It's
talk
your
about it.
upbringing. Think about it. It's your upbringing. Mississippi, Alabama, all these states. They had hate crimes and the history of people getting killed. Why? In Algiers, Italians were discriminated against Sicilians. My family moved to Sicily. Two of my cousins were murdered. So yeah, it's not just it's they are
There,
hateful
they were
subjects.
murdered
I
there.
see down here people driving with Confederate flags. When they stopped in Lowe's last week, I was like, I looked
Yeah,
at the guy. I go, "Hey, dude, what is that? What does that mean?"
That's why I could
You go, "What
never
you
move
you
to
you,
mean?"
Florida.
you see that all the
You
time
know what
down
I
here.
mean, boy. I said, "You know what I mean, boy. What's the
Oh,
Yeah,
Confederate flag on your window? What are you, an asshole?" And he goes, "Who the hell are you?" I said, "I'm somebody that doesn't like that. I have resentment against it because it is pronouncing slavery. But those
Jimmy,
people, you got to
I'm
remember,
gonna
here's
ask
the
you to be
grandfather
careful,
and the
man.
father telling the son that this is what we do. This is how we are. This is, I didn't
But
bring my
Jimmy,
kids up
you
like
you
that.
you
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 gotta
going
be
at the
careful, Jimmy.
Confederate flag, but that's a symbol, and you can't. We're not talking about the Confederate flag. Some people got
Well, I'm
different
talking
meanings for
about the
that too.
attitude. I'm
no,
talking
no,
Yeah,
no,
about
no,
the
no, 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 no.
attitude.
Jimmy's right. That ties in together. That ties in
Absolutely.
together. Yeah, it
But
do. Let
what
me
I'm
tell
Absolutely,
you,
man.
saying,
it's some
I
people
hear you
with
out
the
there in
flag on
Springfield.
their houses. We,
On
we
their
see
Yeah,
that
bro.
bicycle.
all. But
Yeah.
look, let me tell you this. What they say is it's their heritage, but we all know the history behind it. So they tried to
Yeah.
hide behind the heritage of the flag. We see it on
Yeah.
some back of some license plates. If you paying attention, you paying attention, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
mm,
I
we
pay
not and we
attention. I see
and
it.
we not gonna act like some of those people ain't in law enforcement, and we
mm-hmm.
Most of
not gonna
those
act like
people.
come on.
You
And
right.
we what was this? The Aubrey? What was the dude name? Aubrey what?
Oh, yeah. That was a disgrace, man.
Ahmaud Arbery, what was it? Something.
Ahmad
Ahmaud
Arbery.
Aubrey.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
ain't this the same?
Yeah,
This is the
Von Arbery,
same.
right?
This is the same kind of
And I
situation.
see what y'all
And
talking
he was
about.
in
What
Florida with that.
it's basically
Hey, did you see
systematic.
their faces? Did you see their faces when the judge gave them life in prison? That
I
they thought
loved
they
it.
were going to walk away.
I don't know.
And you
I
know
was
what
too
I
busy
did?
laughing at him.
I was cheering. I was cheering because no man, I don't give a shit. This bothers me. It bothers me that we look at each other as our color or as our race or our creed. Even Italians, bro. I got my grandfather when he came over, my great grandfather, actually, my grandfather was born here, but they spit on him. They used to call him an eggplant, a grease monkey. They used to spit on the man, and he was selling vegetables and delivering coal and putting coal in his pocket because there was no money. My grandfather ate pasta every day. I get it because I've been discriminated against my whole life. The black blood in me, the black Sicilian blood
It's
in me,
hated, yeah.
and the
Sicilians
American.
are the black people of the yeah, we know
Oh,
that.
absolutely,
But
Now,
bro. And
Jimmy,
I know.
you think about how you didn't discriminate against and then put that 300-fold for the rest of us.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree with you, Malik.
See, but
It
this
is
the thing though.
disturbing, but these guys that hold on to this Confederate flag, they're all pissed off. They're still
yeah,
pissed off that they
yeah,
lost.
those are the people, Jimmy. Those are the
They
people.
pissed off. They killed a guy that was trying to stop all this. But hey, you're fucking wrong. And people in the North, I had two cousins, and my uncle and on my mother's side of the family, the Cornelius family, that died in the Civil War. They were immigrants. And they said, no man, there's a statue and a plaque of them. They died protecting people's freedom in the Civil War. And I'm
Did they
very
live
proud
next
of
to any
that. And
black
that's
people?
what?
Were
But
there any black people in their communities? I'm just being curious.
Yes. No,
let,
Hey, listen, there was always black people in my community.
That's
I come from a mixed back. I mean, I had black, Mexican. Nobody gave a shit. Russian. Nobody cared about this. A lot of my
right.
friends, I played football. Most of them were black. I loved every one of them.
Yeah,
They
you
were
don't
my
have to
brothers,
defend
man.
yourself, Jimmy. But what really
No,
No,
disturbs
you
I'm
about
don't.
not
this?
You don't
defending
have to
myself.
defend yourself.
I'm
What's
I
really
just,
reacting
I
to
just
this
like
disturbing?
to know the history.
insanity, man.
What's really
I
disturbing
like
about
the
this
history.
situation is how it's being covered in the media and all these type of things, and that's
Of
why we talk
course.
about these people that's under this Confederacy. I'm not going to put the
Yeah.
flag as a symbol. We know because some people really think that's a American symbol of just greatness,
It's not an American symbol.
but
You
it's the
lost.
idea that Jimmy's saying, like the idea these people that's under that, the way they
Yeah,
think, and these states
exactly.
like
You know what the fuck
Mississippi
they mean.
and
I
EST was
see
talking
them
about
on.
these places
I
that they
mean,
Yeah.
protect
do
them
the
and
average
protect them,
person
and
do
they
the
cover up the shit that needs to be covered up. The sheriff's working, judges working, everybody working together to
And they will
get
cover
what
up
they
their shit.
call.
Yeah.
hey
So
do the
that's what
average
I don't
hey
like.
do the average person know that they bombed the church and killed little girls down there
Hey,
back
man, let me
in
tell you
in
something.
In
MLK
Birmingham.
That
days?
was bad.
So
Yeah.
they
That
made
was
a
That
movie
bad.
was
about it.
bad.
Yeah.
That
Birmingham,
was
the
a
four little
disgrace, man.
girls.
I
Yeah.
don't mean to laugh, but I'm just like it's the warfare that makes me. I gotta laugh to stop from crying. You know what I'm saying? At this point,
Yeah.
because I care about my ancestors. I really
Yeah,
do. And
bad
Jimmy,
shit.
I understand what point you coming from. People who are affiliated with us have to do that in order to prove their alliance. But we already know. You know what I'm saying? You don't even got to do that for the most part. It's
It's
but we
not that I'm
can't.
doing that. I hear you, brother. It's just that me as a human being, again, you're talking to a guy that is a jazz musician. I played with some of the best. I played with Reuben Wilson. He's one of the greatest jazz keyboardists in the world. He said, Jimmy, it was a pleasure playing with you. And what I'm trying to say, even with my black girlfriend, when I was dating my girlfriend, she goes, what are we going to do? I'm black. And you know what I said to her? I'm sorry, sweetheart. I didn't even notice that till you told me. But I'm
No, 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 no,
sorry.
no. See,
You,
but this is
you're
what I'm
talking
saying.
to
This
a
is what I'm
person
saying.
that just don't grab this. I just don't get it. I,
No, no,
you
no,
know,
no. This is what I'm saying. But this is why I don't want you to do that, right? Because we already know, we already feel that you on that side. But this is the problem. We tend to have people who on our side who try to prove that to negate the general. In general, okay, you know
right.
sports, Jimmy, right? Hold on, Jimmy. You know sports, right?
Yeah,
Okay, you know Doug Williams.
yep,
Now, why Doug Williams been ain't won a Super Bowl? Because what was the myth about quarterbacks back then?
yeah.
They
Yeah,
Black
wasn't as
quarterbacks
smart. They
couldn't
they
play.
wasn't
They
as smart
weren't
as their
smart enough to
they co-workers. And that's the mindset that's been implanted. That's not act like that's not the mindset. Now we got exceptions, but we're not gonna let that speak for the general. I
Of
don't like when
course.
people do that.
No,
never
I
that.
hear you, bro. And I agree with you, man.
And
Absolutely.
I appreciate
But
you. But
I'm
we
not
ain't
trying
talking
to justify myself. I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm just a pissed off person because I also have to visualize this. I have to see this. and it's a
Yeah.
realization that affects
You got
me
a soul. You got a
because,
soul. You got a
You
yeah,
soul.
got a
So
bro,
where
heart.
I'm a
you know what
human
I'm saying?
being. I look at
Right.
everybody equally. You know, everybody, there's a lot of Jamaican people that are working here. Do you know everybody calls my name when I walk into Lowe's? Jimmy, Jimmy, because I treat them
Like
fairly
people.
and I treat them with respect. And I see people yelling at them. And I go to people sometimes, I go, hey, dude, who the hell are you yelling
But I
at? I
bring
say
up
it in
but I
a civil
bring up
way.
that point about Birmingham because you see the levels it goes to, and then people try to act like they don't exist or it's not
Or it
around. But
wasn't
it's
a big
like
deal.
they.
Emmett Till.
Yeah, right.
Emmett Till, a 14-year-old
But but
boy.
but I mean, listen, a sacred place like a church where it's kids is
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
extreme, extreme from like
That's the
a
level of hate that that we're on now with each other with this gang shit. So that's just a level of hate that's disgusting as far as to have for another human being that you don't know from a goddamn can of paint. You
hey,
feel
but
me?
look,
You know,
look, we got, hey, look,
it's sad,
we
sickening
got
and
hate for each
saddening,
other.
bro.
We got hate for each other, but we not bombing no churches. You know
No,
that.
we ain't bombing no churches.
No, we
We
going
bomb.
to the funeral and killing the
Ah,
right
yeah,
at the
yeah,
damn
yeah.
funeral
We will shoot the
in front of
funeral
the
up. That
preacher
is true.
and
Oh
being
Lord,
Yeah.
they
happy
shooting
about
up
it.
So that
funerals
so
now?
okay. So you
Are you
right. It is.
crazy? That happened all the time.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Now
the
I
that's the
never hear about it. I guess because I don't be going to funerals and the
No, that
people I
happens all the time.
that
Bush, you
happens
right.
all the time.
That's just the 20.
Yeah.
That's just the 2K3 version of bombing. They
Yeah.
spin the
what
block and
the
shoot the
hell is
funeral.
wrong with
You
these
right.
people?
Because we know
No, hold
They
all
ain't
the
even
loved
on.
ones,
mourn in peace.
they
There's
know
no
all the
respect
Oh,
loved
or
ones
respect.
gonna
Malika,
be at the funeral,
Malika.
and they
Let
go,
me put
"What
you
just
on
happened?"
game. If they don't catch the funeral, they gonna catch the memorial when everybody out there with the
That's what I'm
candles and the
saying.
balloons. They spin that too.
So I'm saying that's a deeper level of hate.
Wow,
But
Hmm.
we don't got to get all deep into that. But that was just to
that's just
touch on
pure
that topic.
evil.
But it's a lot of hate out here for each other, and I don't like it. You feel me? We
Nah.
human beings. We should love each other. Or else
We
we
do,
stupid.
and
It
Jimmy,
sounds cliche, but
it does.
it'll
I
help the
love you, brother,
fucking.
and you ain't never got
the-
to defend yourself. We all vouch for you.
Yeah,
I
for
mean,
sure.
I
Jimmy,
do it like the Star Wars. You got the dark side and the light side.
shout out
You
James
saying
Hudson.
just like
James
that.
What's up,
Hudson
What
on
James?
force
deck.
you with?
Yes,
That's
sir. Yes,
it.
sir. Good
Yeah.
point. Good point.
And when I saw this story about this guy and feeding to the pigs and cutting his eyes out, this is not a normal person. These people have an IQ of maybe a snail to be led and to be put into a situation
No,
like
you're
that.
right.
But I'm sorry when people said, "Oh, when I was in Tauntville High School, I was playing football, and two of the guys didn't like this black guy, and he happened to be one of my best friends. They're talking to me like I'm with them, and I said, "You talking about JJ?" Now I'll
What they
never
say?
forget this kid.
What they say?
I don't even want to repeat it. Yeah, what is
Okay.
this? What is this N doing on? I said, "What?"
Don't be
I
egging him
said,
on this
"JJ."
fellas.
I
Now I
said, "Hey,
find
bro, guess
it.
what? JJ carries your ass." I said, "I don't
Look,
know if you noticed, but JJ carries your ass because you're slow and you can't do shit." And I said, "You talk about my friend again like that, I'm going to knock you both your teeth out of your mouth."
Nope.
right.
And I was like, when I went to JJ and he goes, Jimmy, I know those two jerks. They were pissed off because I'm the starter. And I went, JJ, I didn't even realize it. You're right, because you're a better player. And they're pissed off at you. So they
You didn't know he
use
was a starter.
interrogatory statements to micromanage their moronishness or their
Mhm.
stupidity.
Yeah.
They didn't look at JJ like a human being, and I look. And I want to tell you, I don't know if you know this about Joe Namath. Joe Namath was in Alabama. He was almost leaving the school, and the coach talked him out of it. And Joe Namath goes, that piece of shit that was blocking those poor black people trying to go to the school. And what's his name? George. I forget his name.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, well, he was sitting there blocking them from going into the school. And Joe Namath goes, because of the color of
Oh,
their
you're not
skin. Now,
talking about
Joe
him. You're
Namath
not
comes
talking about
from
him.
Pennsylvania, and 99.9 of the community he grew up in were all black.
I
Every
was
one of
gonna
his
say
friends were
there's some
black. He goes,
racist
I didn't even
places and
know
some
any white
racist.
guys. And
Hmm.
these were his buddies. He couldn't
Hey,
understand it. And he
hey,
told the coach, I'm leaving. And the coach said, don't leave. This is what we deal with down here. And I'm like, what?
hey.
Hmm.
Look,
It's
JFK,
a disgrace,
JFK
man.
too.
This shit don't.
JFK,
Oh,
JFK was the same way.
Bostoners. Look,
Yeah,
this whole country is built on racism. It was built on the backs of black people.
See, but
If
my
we're
problem
being
is
No,
I don't have a
that's
problem with
that's
discrimination. I have a problem with prejudice because if it's like I told you, Jimmy, if you're
right.
walking
There's a
down the
big
street and
difference,
this
bro.
dude with hoods, I want you to discriminate in order to save your life. Now, if it's two skinheads walking down the street, I'm not going there. I'm going to discriminate. If I
hmm
see Doc Martens and a skinhead, I'm going to discriminate and say that's a skinhead. I don't need to walk down that street.
hmm
Now
exactly,
That's
me
right.
being prejudiced and seeing Jimmy with some Doc
Preach
Martens on with
about
a
it.
nice polo, that's not being prejudiced. You know, that's your style. But
yeah,
you got to
Right.
discriminate in order to stay alive in this world we live in.
yeah, you do. You have to follow some of these
You do.
stereotypes. You have to.
Yeah, yeah. It is kind of sad. The evil just doesn't go away. And I just honestly living down here in the South, there's not too many bright people down here. I'm being very honest with you. They're really like
The words,
there's a lot of
those are Jimmy's
backwoods. There's a
words.
lot of backwoods thinking down here, man.
See, but let me let me
Especially
let me give you
and
some
I get
insight to that though.
There are parts of
what?
Florida I'm scared of. When driving through
Not a lot of
Gainesville,
smart people in New York either.
But listen, but
Everybody ain't
listen. Let
everybody.
me give you some insight. They're not. See, down here is Gullah Geechee smart to where they know how to cultivate earth. They know stars. They know land. They know how to do certain things to where they don't have a Anglo-Saxon education smart. No. You're not gonna get that down here. But what you
No.
do the average northerner know how to come down here and operate a hoe and till? That's
You talking
I
smart
know
about
how
too.
to operate a hoe.
I'm saying, but you give an average
No,
person a hoe,
I know what
they'll be
you're
like, "What
saying,
is
brother.
this?"
I know what you're saying, and
exactly?
you're right. You're right.
And I can use a
But
shovel
it
and
just
a couple of
bothers me
saws.
when people like when I see people in the food store or Publix, and these poor immigrants are coming into the country, and they can barely speak English and they're timid, and here I am on the line, and I'm making the woman laugh, and I'm making the cashier laugh, and they're calling my name when I walk in the store. That is what makes me proud of being a human being and treating them fairly. In my restaurant, when I owned my restaurant, I sat down with my Mexicans and my workers, and my partner goes, "What are you sitting with them for?" I said, "Because they're the people that help make you money, you moron." And I'm friends with them.
Or
They're
he's
nice
just
people.
enjoying the company too, more
Are you
than
sure
And
they
I'm
were all
I
laughing
mean,
with them,
Mexican?
and we're kidding around. And here's my partner. And I went like this: "What the hell am I in partners with you for?"
mm.
Mm.
Yeah, bro.
you, you
I'm getting tired of the bullshit. I'm getting tired of that still in this day and age. We're gonna die one day. Nobody's here forever.
No, you're
I want to be good to everybody, man.
yeah,
Yep. Good
that's all
point.
we can
Good
do.
point. Good point.
Great
My
point.
boy.
And
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry. No, no,
I
no.
was going to jump into Joe Morant.
Yeah,
Morant.
exactly.
His rant.
I got the segue because EST. He from that part of town. You heard?
All right.
What's his name? How you pronounce his name?
Ja,
Because I'm from
ja,
sports
his name's
too.
Ja.
Oh,
Yeah.
I ain't got my glasses on, baby, and I typed Ja. I just didn't
Yeah,
type
Ja.
J
I
A
just I heard a lot. I've been listening to a lot of content on this dude. And some compare him to Allen Iverson. Some say no, he's just a fake this or whatever else. But I
Mm.
don't find him to be a fake. I find him to be a dude, a product of his environment. He came up and he got some money, and but the money don't change. Like they say, you can take the dude out the wherever you're from, but you can't whatever. You know what I'm trying to say though. Like
Yeah,
basically, I don't think he's
you
that
can't change a
fake
hoe to a
gangster
house.
dude. Basically, what the public is trying to say is he's just a fake dude that's want to put on a facade to look like a gangster. I don't think he's that fucking retarded. I think that's just him, and he's happened to get caught up in these situations, and he gonna have to learn the hard way or figure out how to
Well,
maneuver.
you
That's
well, you
all.
know what? When people say statements like, even though John Morant don't come from the streets and he went to a private school, had both his parents, and came from a nice suburban home
Yeah,
to get,
that don't mean shit.
but it's plenty killers that come from that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? Plenty preacher
Better believe it.
kids who come from money. You know what I'm saying? Like family issues all the time. You got nephews and such that they came up wealthy, but now they gang banging and toting guns, and it's like it's it's what's in you, and if you try to take that from him, some of these little young boys will take your life behind that.
And that's
You
sad,
know,
but I laugh at them because it's like I know what gangsters really look like.
But
what you think
in his
about?
situation, but in his situation, he young, he talented. I'm not gonna give him AI because that's a little much. You know
Yeah, I
what
was
I'm
just
saying?
Right.
making a comparison because back when AI was on the scene, he's the first one to have the braids, the first one to do the all the tattoos, first one to have that little attitude, that swag. Like I ain't changing, like because like most of these sports guys, they got to put on the show, like they got to be all American, they got to be able to,
But
and
that's this
AI
not this
was
situation though. This not that situation. Now he is
And
electric
AI
like
from
AI.
757, baby.
He is from Virginia, right?
Yes, he is.
He
Down
is
the road.
Yeah.
electric. What city is that? What city?
Bad news. Newport News.
Okay, okay.
Yep.
So he electric like AI, but this the thing. I've been watching this progression. He wasn't acting like this his first season. You know what I'm saying?
okay, but what
That's
like was
true. That's
AI?
true. He
If you
wasn't.
go back to AI, was AI? Maybe not. When you get a certain
Nah,
amount of money in a
nah.
certain
AI came in getting Mike off. Like, come on, bro. Let's don't go back to the crossover,
I don't
man. At
know.
least
You
we can
probably
cut.
know better than me, but
Listen. When nobody was challenging Michael like that, AI came in and crossed Mike and hit him with this. You know what I'm saying? Like he came
I'm
in
not talking
crazy.
about
Yeah.
the skill though. I'm talking about his image and was he have did he
Yeah, I mean
braids?
back then he started get. I mean with the money you're gonna evolve. It's just gonna make you more than what you
Yeah.
already is, right? So
Mhm.
I mean but this the thing what he gonna learn next year. He's staying to get 240 million for 5 years, but there's certain incentives attached to it.
Damn.
But
Two
like
hundred
for
and
example,
forty million for 5 years.
you'll lose 40 million if you don't meet a certain stat within this
He
year. And
better
he's taking
stop
out
playing.
he taking all these no, they saying potentially he's gonna miss the season. So that's certain incentives that's not met for you to get that 240 guaranteed.
And
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
tried to take away 40 grand or 40 million from him for this. Or 39 million. Shit.
Oh my God.
No,
Well,
no,
see,
no,
a
Yeah.
real hood dude
but
ain't gonna fuck that up though.
he's staying the game. But this is a good thing though, because Nike put out a message and said that with time we stand with Ja. And with time he'll get better. So that's letting us know they gonna stand with him, let him work his stuff out, and he's staying the game to 10, 20, 30 million off the court with endorsements and all that. So
Yeah.
he can make it back. But and another thing.
But I
Hold
mean,
on,
who
one more
want to be
thing.
throwing away $40 million?
One more thing. The strip
Mm.
club owner in Denver, Colorado need to be like, listen, why would you sell that to TMZ for let's say
Right.
no way that he spent more than 50,000 for that video,
He
right?
could have went right to
They
jail
had more
right
than
now.
50,000 on the floor and they paid to clear everything out. So you would have got more money by keeping your mouth shut. Think
Guess
about it.
what? That
Yeah.
probably wasn't
Kind
the
of
owner
stupid. Yeah.
who
I
did that.
agree with you, bro. That was really that was screwed up, man.
That
TMZ
probably wasn't
called
the
him.
owner. That's the problem too. It probably wasn't the owner.
Nah,
Probably
it
some.
was. Think about it, because whoever you gotta think, everybody ain't got access to the security footage to see the video and the picture that they put
But
out to
shit, it could
everybody.
have been a security guard.
It could have been a
But
security
but they
guard,
don't have
and he
access.
could.
But you understand, this is on a hard drive, so it gotta be somebody access their hard drive when they was there to go back and see everything.
Mm.
Yeah, but he
Just
got to.
Joe,
If it was really the owner, he got to be the most
Yeah, he
dumbest
got to be a
motherfucker in the
stupid
world.
idiot.
Because if you
he
owner,
took the
you don't
bait.
do that. You
He
feel
took
me?
the bait. TMZ called
Yeah.
him and they got that up off of him, man. And it's like, bro, they had more money on the floor than what they probably offered you. Why would you do that?
And I'm
Well,
never
who
going
knows?
back.
TMZ got a lot of
And
money
I'm
though, so
never
I don't
going
know
back.
what they offered him. TMZ got a lot of money though. I know that.
And nobody
Yeah.
else gonna want to go back to that because it's like, look what happened.
Yeah. What was the name of that strip club? Does anybody know?
I do not know. You lucky
We
I
need
No,
to
do
beat
it's
not
the
their
know.
ass on
Colorado
the
Strip
ass.
Club. It's been
Yeah.
there a while. It's not a new place, dude. And that's what I mean. The guy is really just a
A
jerk,
dummy.
man. You know?
So
Yeah.
Jimmy, let me ask you this: if you was the owner and they came to you, TMZ, hey, we need that video from you. We
100
What would
willing,
million.
I do?
yeah, we willing to make it
Absolutely not.
a
Absolutely
Yeah,
hundred,
not.
Jimmy go
a
beat
hundred
their
thousand,
ass.
100,000, Jimmy.
Absolutely not.
250,000, Jimmy.
Bro, you're talking to a guy that has a lot of integrity, a lot of character, a lot of class. I would never do that to somebody just because TMZ wanted to offer me. First of all, I want to tell you, I was offered from Dateline and about 10 other companies to go against my partner, Jules Nasser, with Steven Seagal. I was directly involved in the court case. I was in the court. And Dateline and a bunch of tabloids, come on, man, we'll give you 50 grand. Give us the dirt. I want to tell you something. I could have used that 50 grand because that piece of garbage partner of mine, Jules Nassau, robbed me. You think I could have got payback? But the Harut, my friend, I studied karate my whole life. I believe solely in karma and affecting to do something to another human being. I think you will suffer greatly. And guess what? He's suffering, Jules. But I could have got maybe 150,000, been on TV, did the whole story because everybody wanted to know about Steven Seagal, and I know everything. And you know what I did, bro? I said no, no, thank you. And if some TMZ came up to me, that would not have been shown
Yeah,
because,
that was
all
bad
right,
business, man.
yeah, bro, the guy's got a
You
gun.
told
Guess what? They
him
all
bad
carry
business,
guns.
so
They all,
Jules was bad
it's
business.
showing it off a little bit. He's a young
But no,
guy.
that wasn't it though. That wasn't it. He told on himself with the gun. They dropped the footage of the stripper on him with all the money around.
That's why a lot of people say he's a goofy.
Oh, that was him with the gun? He did that
Yeah.
to himself?
He did that to himself.
Oh, I knew about the money and the stripper, but
Yeah.
I thought that all tied into it. What?
Nah, he on his cell phone. He on his cell phone on his
Yeah,
IG
but I
live.
still wouldn't have gave up the tape, man. I still wouldn't have.
Why
That's
not?
crazy.
You were mad
Oh,
at
Why
he
him.
was
not?
already told on himself with the good
He
part.
already told you why not. He said he got integrity. He
Yeah,
ain't
I
gonna
heard.
go
I
down that
heard.
road.
I
Hey,
heard.
bro, guess what? I'm also going to worry
Nah,
about
but
my
I like
business.
him either.
I'm not
Nah,
going
I
to
was
say, hey,
really asking you
the
about
next
Jules
ball player
Nasty.
that's going to come into town, I'm not going to let him want to come to my place. I
Yeah,
want, hey,
that's
this is a
done.
safe haven. You can act a little crazy if you want. Welcome to my place.
Yeah, I agree.
Just be safe. Don't go
I
crazy.
agree.
But no,
Yeah,
that's
it's very
bullshit, man.
important.
The guy's a big turd.
Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
Jerks.
It's the
Yeah, man. Come on. You
establishment.
don't do that to another
But he
dude.
but listen, but more importantly, he took accountability. He checked himself into one of those nice facilities that to take care of you. Hopefully, if he spend the rest of this season off, then the NBA ain't gonna penalize him next year. He come back with better character, better young man, take care of his
Right.
family.
He
Well, hopefully
realizes
he
he
represent
made a
himself.
mistake. You're right, bro. He made a mistake.
Hopefully he's able to represent himself better because sports it ain't about race. You got little white kids, little Asian kids, little Spanish kids, little black kids looking up to him a certain
Yeah.
Yeah.
way. And when you're in that position, sorry to tell you, buddy, you're a role model. So you
But it's
got to
sad though,
make to
Bush.
help
Cause
the
so
world.
imagine
That's
being a
sad.
role model at 23 and they have them looking up to every you
Yeah, but
23,
that's why
Bush.
he got to learn the
That's
hard
a
way.
lot.
Like I said, you got
Yeah,
to
That's
but
learn the
that's a
tough,
hard
lot.
bro.
way.
That's a lot of
Well,
pressure on
Hey,
somebody.
I
Jordan
want
was
to
a
tell you.
role model at a young age. LeBron,
Well, guess
his
what?
dudes.
You guys know Hank Aaron, right?
LeBron is also a freaking liar.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know
yeah.
Hank
Home run.
Aaron? He passed
Yeah, but
away
that's
just
everybody a
recently.
liar. I don't care about that.
No, but you
Go
know
ahead,
Hank
Hank
Aaron?
Aaron.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Hank Aaron used to go to a bar, and Joe DiMaggio did this, and a lot of Dick Buckus did this. And Hank Aaron was in the bar one time, and he was drinking liquor out of a coffee cup. And you know what he said? Joe DiMaggio said the same thing. He goes, "Hey, what are you drinking? Here's a shot glass." And he was drinking whatever it was, bourbon. And he goes, "No, God forbid if a kid walks in or somebody walks by and they see me, I want them to think I'm having
See?
coffee and I'm not
That's what I'm
drinking."
saying. Yeah.
So think about
I
And
mean,
that,
I
man.
get it, but like, damn, that's a lot.
no,
That's a lot to
that
ask.
yeah, but that's the price. You getting all that money. Everything ain't all hunky dory and easy. Like you example, you are a role
Some people do
model.
gotta grow
Little
up faster
kids.
than what than the
That's
average
right, bro.
20-year-old. You gotta grow up
Yeah,
a little faster,
he
yeah.
made a mistake, man. He's young, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like I said,
Well, I'm
hopefully he
glad
learned.
Nike's sticking with him.
Yeah, Nike said
Yeah,
you know.
they gonna give him
he's
the
out.
time to develop and come back a better character. They said they sticking with him.
He's obviously an extraordinary athlete, and yeah, he got a lot of power with the youth. So, hey, I'm about the youth. I'm about the babies. The babies.
And you stand a chance to set up generational wealth within your
That's what
family,
I'm
bro.
saying too.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Like, come on, man. Like, they paying you
Yeah.
over 100 something million just to dribble a ball and do what you love to do. But we
yeah.
can get caught up in that lifestyle because I remember being 23. That's why I cannot be a hypocrite because
No,
we're
I'm
gonna do
not
dumb
trying to.
shit.
I'm saying he got to learn from his mistakes. That's all.
Yeah, when I was
I mean, you know
23,
how
I
many
was
super
nobody making
gangsters
nothing.
that's out there that we don't even know that we think are wholesome guys, but because they know how to fucking keep their shit together, they don't
And
put that
separate.
out there and have that image. That's all. Jordan could be
Yeah.
the biggest baddest killer for all we know. You feel me? Like, but it's the image. I feel like that's very important. That's very
Yeah,
important. You're a
the
role
image
model.
is definitely important. The image is definitely important. So look,
Yeah, he
you were
just slipped up. He made a mistake, man. Who the hell knows what's on his
He made a
mind when you
couple
got a bunch of
mistakes, but he
haws,
young.
when you got a bunch of haws jumping all over you, man.
You lose your mind.
Yeah, man.
Lose
You
your
got
mind,
jumper from
man.
all directions.
Yeah.
It's hard to
All
think. It's hard to
directions.
think.
So
Man.
look, speaking of that, do we want to jump on what you was talking about that YouTube thing earlier?
Well, we could just jump into that, man. Jimmy, if you don't know, there's a, YouTuber, Adam 22. He's a white guy, and a lot of people respect him in the hip hop community. He started his platform probably like 10 years ago or something like that, and he's been building it up, building it up. Now he's like on the top tier as far as this YouTube thing. Well, basically, a lot of people feel like he's been getting big headed, and he ended up today losing his fucking all of his staff. A bunch of like people came together and they left him. Very important people, like people that gave him street credibility and people. So really, we was analyzing how this happened and why it happened. The guy Adam 22, he got a bad history. He got tweets of him dealing with little girls, tweets of him saying
Oh,
neo-Nazi racist things. He
What the
wanted to
fuck?
interview a neo-Nazi racist. He
are
did
you
interview a
serious?
racist.
Two
Two
Let
of
of
me
them.
them.
let
Two of them.
EST. Let me let EST do the intro. He's better than me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
Go
mean,
ahead,
I
man.
mean, what more importantly, they respect the platform more than the guy. Now, I gotta give it to him. He has been putting his work in as far as documenting the hip hop culture, and and when his podcast and the whole shit is a nostalgia that's been built into hip hop. I can give him that because No Jumper is a look more than soul. But he, like me and Bush was just saying, he just turned it into like a podcast form, and you get
Mm-hmm.
certain personalities that help mesh together. They just move into a big, warehouse facility. They've been doing great.
It's a lot
So
of money.
how his thing is set up is they have No Jumper, which is the banner. Under No
Okay.
Jumper, you have the Tuesday show, which is like the first show, and you got certain
Okay.
personalities that come on there and talk. And then within that show, you got Disconnected, which was like a Thursday or Friday. I'm not for sure on the
Uh
particulars,
huh.
but and
All
then
live
within that,
stream, like what we do.
different people will have different personalities that have different sets, and
Okay.
they get certain people to come on and interview within their little. And so what happened lately is the main personalities have branched off and started their own podcast like Community and Back on Fig, and it's doing great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
But the
So and it's
turbulence started like with House Phone. Like House Phone was a guy that worked
yeah,
for
yeah.
Adam, and I guess he had some. He dealt with, I don't know. He had some sexual things that he didn't want out. Adam exposed those, and House Phone exploded on him on the live and went crazy and quit. Then next thing you know, it's another dude, Lush, who
Oh no
supposedly
no no no
Adam.
no no no! Don't skip!
Okay,
Don't
go ahead,
skip!
go ahead.
Don't skip! Listen, House Phone was playing chess and Adam wasn't. So you can't be when you family like we are on this. It can't be content over family, bro. We cannot
Yeah,
do that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
so it was some suspect sexual stuff out there with, the LBGT community
Mm-hmm.
and House Phone. And Adam lets it roll, and they talk about it on the show and the whole nine. So what happens after that? How about it comes up that House Phone slept with Adam's fiance?
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that came
Then
out.
everybody
Adam is the
started.
boss, and
Then that started coming out on all the podcasts that's related to the main banner of No Jumper, like
Oh.
content. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Then all of a sudden, it's like certain people start getting into it. It's been fights, and it's just been disintegration
Yeah,
ever since
they mixed
that
it up,
main.
man.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I made
Or
several videos about Adam in the beginning because I found him to be irresponsible as a guy who's a head of hip hop culture in this YouTube thing. He's one of the leaders, and when he got the history of him dealing with little girls and then all this crazy stuff, and then
yeah,
like
like what the fuck?
yeah, his biggest dude AD who left who just quit today, and it's breaking
Mm.
This
all over.
is
It's
Jared
breaking
from
the internet.
Subway shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he quit today because Adam interviewed this ex neo-Nazi dude, and the AD Adam's employee was there, had a problem with that. He made a few suggestions or whatever. Adam didn't like that, so Adam said, "All right, we're gonna kick you off that show. We ain't gonna have you back." So imagine
Oh.
that. You know what I mean? Imagine that. Like I have somebody So that's
Yeah.
where the shit started.
Then
But
then he
Well, he's
basically,
kicking
communicates.
himself in the ass, man.
Then he communicates to a new employee that he's thinking about getting rid of AD. Then the new employee runs and tells something called Discord where they all go and talk like a group chat, but it's online. And then it gets back to AD. AD tells Adam. Adam's mad at Lush, but you're not. You got to be mad at yourself because this was
Because
just.
why would you even be telling the new employee that?
Yeah,
That's
That's
not that
right.
new employee's
That's
business.
right.
You pull that
But
he
man to the
fired
side.
on
he's on
camera.
a campaign. He's on a campaign right now trying to like blame Lush for everything coming out. But now I just kind of paid attention to the first show. He got a new dude from New York who kind of look like AD. He kind of got new people who look like the old people. And what
And
he's
these
doing
people
is like
getting involved in this.
first day they seen the dysfunction the first day. They first episode there they seen the dysfunction of everybody getting
And
fired. They
they
seen
still
Lush.
there.
I mean, it's their first day. It's just like anybody trying to get exposure, get an opportunity.
Right.
Your
I
first
get
day, what
it,
do you?
but like, are they black people? And is he making
Um,
them interview neo-Nazi people?
see,
And
but the thing is, when the neo-Nazi people like Danny Mullen came on, Adam interviews them personally. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
So that be his thing when certain type of personalities come on. Adam do it, and all AD said was, listen, you have a majority black employees. You're interviewing neo Nazis. That's kind of like
Right.
so.
it's the
Then
slap in the
so,
face.
He
but
should have
when you
had
have your
AD should have had the right to speak on it, and basically.
but as a boss, when you got your employees exposing stuff like running campaigns like house phones, sleeping with your baby mother, and look, we gotta talk. I understand kind of from a boss standpoint of being like, hold on, I can't have this. This is bad for my brand. Let me rebrand in order to. But you
If you
like I said when AD said when they had them 300 like 100 Mexicans showed up to the show one day
He stood up
ready to kill and I ain't gonna say that put in work for whatever, right? And AD
on
kind of
AD,
on
no, on
Adam, the
Adam.
boss. And
The
AD
oh,
boss.
all
stood
right.
up because AD is a well-known gangster. It's a long, long story, but basically, the bottom line is when you get a platform created on something, you let these people built it up, and now when you get this power, you can't handle it, and you're getting rid of these people whenever you feel uncomfortable. No, player, play the cost to be the boss. Don't
Yeah.
get
And
rid
how
of these
about
But
this?
people.
And how
you
about
start to play games and do risky things, man. And
Yeah,
that's a
At the
risky
and then
slight
thing to
look,
bit,
do.
it's a slight little bit of uncomfortableness. You getting rid of these people, like nah. That's why
nah,
Adam
that
and
ain't.
does
then
this.
listen, and when the threats pop up, he's nowhere to be found, but the employees is always there holding it down. So by proxy, they should always. I will offer you a percentage in the shit just based off whoever put their life
Period.
on the
Yeah,
line, their
yeah.
situation on
If
the line,
you're a
their current
real one,
situation.
if you're a real one, and y'all see,
But
if y'all
anyway,
look in the corner. Sorry, on another note, that's Mace Loke. That's his address. I don't know if y'all can see it if you're on the computer. Make it big. That's his address. Shoot
Okay.
him a letter every now and then. Holler at him. You know what I mean, and get at your boy. He about to be moving, like I said in the last episode, from Corcoran to New Folsom. It's real tough for him out there. So, he would love to hear some words from the people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Adam, I told you I made a video about this no jumper situation yesterday. And I said in the title, Adam is about to lose all his street credibility. That's the case, but that's really not the case. He's losing all credibility, period. He's losing all his credibility as a fucking decent human being.
Of course,
He
But
gonna
man.
his
he gonna he
platform,
gonna have
I'm
people who still
unsubscribing
watch
to No
though.
Jumper. EST
yeah,
unsubscribed to No Jumper. We ain't fucking with it. We rolling with community. We rolling with Fig. And that's what it is. You feel me? Just like Vlad, and you got to watch that. These guys have German descent. So I don't want to get on nothing like that. But you always got to watch the people that's supporting on your culture. Vlad, DJ Vlad, he's the boss of this hip hop shit when it comes to YouTube. And he
Yeah.
just did some very disrespectful shit to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. I'm not Muslim. I don't give a fuck about none of that. But you should, when you make a mistake, you should be able to say, I'm sorry. He couldn't say that. He said, I'm not apologizing to them. Fuck them. And that was the beginning of his bullshit. I
No, no, no,
unsubscribed to
no, no.
him.
Hold on. We gonna say this. And what happened was some Jewish stuff happened, and then Vlad was mad. Like, listen, you can't say that. You can't do that. I feel disrespected. I need you to apologize. He was asking somebody to apologize, and okay,
No
cool.
problem.
But then
But it's,
when the coin get flipped, you're like, no. So it's like, oh,
yeah, yeah. So it's a double standard, and we that's kind of giving me makes me nervous. And like, oh, you think you mastered now because you the boss and all that, but you can't. I don't get to be treated with decency and respect. So yeah, basically that's what we on right now. I unsubscribed to him, and I'm subscribed to Fig. Nation. Was it Fig? Was it
It's back on Fig.
back?
You got Community, that's CUHMITTY, right? And then you got Ace Boy Pun. Ace
Period.
Boy Pun.
Fuck with all of those platforms.
Fuck
And
with them.
there's a lot of, and there ain't no racist shit. There's a lot of good platforms out there. I love them all. But when you show me some bullshit, yeah, we on you.
And
We
those
support
three
human
podcasts
decency here.
aren't janky. It's quality. It's good stuff depending on what your. But it's good stuff. So I don't understand why. But sometimes as a businessman and the owner, it's not personal. You got to make
Yeah,
certain moves and decisions, but you got to be smart with those moves and
You gotta
decisions.
be smart. You gotta be smart.
yeah.
That's
Especially, yeah,
about.
Well, you know what it is. Some people get what a swollen head syndrome, and he
That's
felt he
true.
can
I
do
think that's.
whatever he can. I can do anything. Look, I saw a
Yeah, I don't
guy,
need you. Yeah, I know
Vinny
you don't need me,
Nunez,
but what does that
Nick
have to do with being a human?
Carrazzo. That's right. Nick Carrazzo became the godfather of the Gambino crime family, and he goes, "Now we could do whatever we want." Now I'm giving you a scenario that's the same blessing as
Uh
this
huh.
guy. Here he
Hmm.
is. He's getting a swollen head. I could do whatever I want. I could
Yep.
make this happen. Yeah, I could. I can bring a neo-Nazi in, and
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
that's exactly what. That's listening to you guys, which are all making sense. Yeah, that's the
it's,
scenario right there. You got a
Thank
I
swollen
you.
head.
Thank
agree.
you.
His head got too big, and now he's just a cocky mug, and he
I
thinks
mean,
he
but
Yeah,
you
can.
can do that
you
when
bring
it's
a
your company
neo-Nazi
that
onto
you
your show,
built,
man.
though. So that's
Hey,
the
I don't have no problem with that though, Jimmy. You know why? Because it wasn't no issue until the AD, the guy that brought him credibility, a black guy, said he didn't say, "Oh no, you can't have no neo Nazis on." This is that man's platform. All he said was,
Right.
"Let's have somebody black to give a alternate perspective on the
A counter.
situation."
what
That's
what
Yeah,
all.
what, what we gonna say this. Let's add context because Adam did speak and say verbatim why he kicked AD off. He said he was already contemplating it before because AD would say
AD
the same.
quit. Let's make that straight. AD quit.
He was saying that AD
Kicked him
was
off the
making the
show.
same four jokes. He also said AD was he said at first AD would say certain things that Adam would tell him to pull back. You can't kind of be like that. So AD started pull back on some of the episodes and it kind of started to be mundane.
And it
So
went
he
mundane. Yep, yep.
so
Yep.
you know
So
but
it
Yeah.
he
was
asked
all
for him to
Adam.
pull back.
exactly. So but then what was the icing on the cake was in the neo-Nazi, the two dudes. Now the last one was the straw that broke the camel's back. And he was like, "Listen, we got to talk." And then the next thing you know, okay, well, you're gonna be off the Tuesday show. But he
Yeah,
wasn't off. He wasn't off the platform. He could have still been on the Thursday,
yeah.
Friday, whatever. And then he got a eating show. He got an eating show called Oh, I forgot. It's leaving me right now. They
Yeah,
got
I
an
know,
eating show
but
off No Jumper.
yeah,
You know what I'm
not
saying?
anymore though. That's done, and that was doing
So
real good. But he just
it's gonna be a
decided to
lot
leave
of
the
back to the
platform.
drawing boards going on for a lot of people.
He decided to
Damn.
leave the platform, and I don't blame him. That's all. I don't blame him. No, they built it on a friendship, and not
And
even
and
friendship, just respect. Because it's not even just friendship; it's respect. You know what I mean?
and
To
we
me,
gotta give credit to Lord Jamar because he kicked off the no
the
Vlad shit.
lads.
The Vlad he kicked it off.
I
So
know. Yeah,
I said, you know what, Lord Jamar, you my elder. I kind of see the wrong. I gotta follow suit. You know what I'm saying?
me
Just off
too. Me
principle
too.
sometimes, bro.
But
Mm.
everybody got a right to follow suit. If somebody come on here dissing Sicilians, their asses
No,
out there.
no, I say that because sometimes in certain situations, it's not about your personal opinion. It's about your elder and following suit, regardless of your opinion, because
Right.
right is right and wrong is wrong.
To an extent, if your
So,
elder's
but in
wrong,
certain
you don't follow
situations,
him.
not, that don't apply to
Yeah, yeah,
everything.
yeah, yeah, for
That
sure.
don't apply to everything.
For sure. But yeah,
So,
sorry y'all. Me and my boy EST, this is the shit we
Oh
be
no,
covering.
man,
So
that
we
was
had
good
to
info.
touch on it because this was breaking news today, and we had to touch on it a little bit. You feel me?
Wow.
But Jimmy, you know how it is, and you be a boss all the time. I work for you a lot, and you can't get big headed as a boss. You gotta be reasonable, and you gotta be smart, and you gotta be a human being and decent. God damn it.
I mean, Jimmy
Well, you
even
have to
said
have
Jimmy
empathy.
said that. He said he never thought his partner would turn out like that. So, he's seen the
Yeah.
size of it before.
Hmm.
Oh, bro, listen, again, I don't agree with anybody or people that discriminate against anybody or show discrimination and hatred. You can believe in what you want to believe in. I also, a lot of things Louis Farrakhan says I don't like, but guess what? There's a lot of things that he said are true. And if you don't accept that, then that makes you just as bad as them, or a neo-Nazi who believes in hatred. But the bottom line is, you know, we all have to have an understanding of why things fall apart, and it is human error, man. We're just humans. You don't know. Mook, what happens right now? You just hit the lottery and you got $50 million in your pocket. Of course, you're going to change. When somebody calls you up to go pee grip or something, you're going to tell them, you're going to laugh in his face and head
How they
up, and
gonna
you're going
call
to,
me? How they gonna call me?
yeah. How come? Yeah. How come you don't call me, man? What happened to this dude? You know what I'm saying? Then you
Wow.
ain't gonna give a shit about anybody or what your ex-wife did to you. You're gonna be off somewhere.
Yeah.
And when you
But
call you
you
on the
better get in
phone, Luke,
contact
what
with
are you
me.
doing? You're gonna be
Yeah.
For
I'm
one,
on
you
a
ain't gonna be able
plane
to call me.
somewhere.
That's one. You ain't gonna be able to
That's
call me.
right,
I'm
bro.
gonna call. I'm gonna
That's
call
right.
you, and it's gonna be from a phone that you can't contact me back from.
Wow.
Man, for
Wow.
real.
There
How
you
you gonna
go,
get in
brother.
touch
That's
with
the
me? I'm gonna
truth,
be on
man.
an island
I got a
somewhere.
couple of people that I need to tell to be at the airport at this time. Just show the fuck
That's
up.
it.
Because you know you
Go.
gotta give it to them and run because you already know they'll ring that back.
Oh man.
No,
Oh
no,
yeah,
we can
bro.
start off on a
Absolutely.
vacation all celebrating. And that's where I'll hand you your shit. You'll sign your thing. Don't come back. And
The
we do it
floodgates.
that way.
But for one, you best believe I'm gonna call you. You ain't gonna be able to get in contact with me.
But yeah,
That's the truth,
yeah.
man.
I told y'all Adam gonna lose his street credibility, and that's what happened.
He never had it. He never had it. He
Well,
He
his
had
never had
platform.
it.
podcasts.
Well, I should have
It's,
said the platform. And sometimes y'all need to listen to old Bush. You heard. But that's
Facts.
it. You know, we love everybody. That was a great show. Nia
wait, we
Malik,
ain't
what's
done.
up? No, we ain't
We
done.
ain't
We ain't done. Let's go.
done. We ain't done. My
What
bad.
we
So,
got?
okay. Little Meech, Smams, a fan for Insta. So, do you guys watch BMF?
No,
I
but
watched the first. The
I lived
first.
it. I lived that, man.
He
All right.
lived it.
So
So
I
last
didn't.
episode, Meech showed his Wang, and it was
hold
huge.
on, what? Hold on, what?
What? Wait.
What?
Hold on,
Go
what?
ahead.
He showed his wang.
He
Oh,
showed his
Paul,
Wang,
hold
and
on,
it was
hold on, hold
huge.
What?
on.
Yeah.
Got you
He
for this
showed
one.
his wang. What
He showed
the
his
hell
Wang,
is
and it
going
was
on
huge.
here, man?
So
Look, I ain't gonna
wait.
block you. I'm gonna let you go, but I ain't gonna listen. Just give me something.
No, I'm gonna get to it. But he was wearing a prosthetic, and
Oh,
people
that's even
falling
worse.
out on it.
So wait, Malika, what's the story here? What's going
Yeah, that's the story. He
on?
showed the prosthetic.
You
People
need
called him
Dutchie
out
for
on it,
that. I ain't speaking on that shit.
and he said, "Stop hating, B." Yeah, he was cussing folks out. Okay, but see, that was for you guys saw the pictures of Ciara. Okay,
Yes.
if
Thank
you
God
were
for weed,
Ciara's
man. Let me
husband,
tell
if you were Ciara's husband, would you be upset?
I was
Yeah,
just
my
having
wife
this
ain't going out like
conversation.
that without me. If she was with me and then we, you know,
No, 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 not even with me. I was just having this conversation, right? So I was
Yeah,
saying, do you see Angela Bassett like that?
no, she
classy.
ain't got to do that
Graceful,
though.
but I'm saying you ain't got to do it neither. You somebody's
Mm-mm.
wife and a mother. We need to
I don't
stop
really
this
attract
whole.
girls like that. I like
See, but
girls
we,
that
but
like
we
they
fighting.
cute.
We fighting this whole body positivity where you can do whatever you want because it look good versus making sense. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
I'm
that was
fighting
more for
against
the bedroom.
I feel like her and
exactly.
Dude got some
That should have been
problems. Let's get
between
down
her
to the
and
bottom
Russell
of this shit.
and
Her
Russell
and
Wilson.
Russell, they got issues, and she's stepping out. She, just like she did with all the
Nah, that's
mothers.
some dope insight right there. That is for the bedroom.
I guarantee. I feel like they got issues, and she's stepping out, showing that body, and really flossing it and tossing it. That's what I feel.
So
Okay, let me say this. Do we see Savannah James doing that?
you. No.
No.
Hey,
But
talking about
Sierra
Angela
and who
Bassett,
is
man. I
Sierra?
I
met
mean,
her one
Lloyd
time.
Harvey showed up classy.
Let me tell you something. I saw Angela
She
Bassett
looked
in Los
beautiful.
Angeles in person, and let me tell you, bro, you were mentioning her. She is the classiest. And when I saw her, I said to her, I looked at her, and she took my breath away. I said, "You are probably the most classiest, beautiful lady I ever seen." She put her hand out, and I kissed her hand, and then we both laughed. And of course, she walked away. I'm a peon going to a production meeting, but
No, but I know
she
Jimmy, and he
she was.
definitely did that. He's that type of dude.
Oh,
I
she
mean,
is awesome, man.
but your body being only for your man in the bedroom is done.
No, that's right,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
I
I
would
don't.
never. That's why Angela
Can
Bassett,
you
you would
imagine
never,
the
ever,
flappies
ever,
getting in the fucking
ever,
locker
ever.
room?
For
He's not
me,
getting
I'll be
slack. He's
done.
not getting slack.
I'm
He's not getting
definitely
slack.
leaving you after that. You do some shit, you pull a stunt like that.
No, look, it's covert disrespect, right? Because they'd be like, "Oh, your baby mama look good, man. Right, right." When you supposed to get bing, that's
Yeah,
instant.
yeah,
Bing,
yeah,
bang,
yeah, yeah.
bing. Like, no,
Don't
no,
even
we're not
comment on
doing
that,
that.
homie. Don't comment on that. That's
Yeah,
a fight.
but they'll be
Man,
the type to high five him, and he'd be laughing. He
Nah.
don't get it.
Yeah, he's a sucker. He's that type of dude.
That's
I
what I'm
feel
saying. He
like.
not even gonna get
That's
it.
what I
Like,
mean. They may be like, "Hey, man, I'd hit that if you leave it."
And Ciara taking advantage of that, but he probably the type to want to see his wife get hit by another man. He probably get off on that. There's people like that.
so,
Sorry.
when Future leave, we gotta say, look, maybe he ain't want to have you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
Russell, what's the
hey,
name?
Boog, let me tell
Russell,
you
what's the
something.
name?
If
Boo.
that
Russell
was my
Westbrook.
girlfriend or wife, she ain't walking out of that house.
Period.
I'll tell her right to her face, hey, guess what, woman? We ain't going to no party, and you ain't going out in that
And if you
dress.
are
And
going
if you
out,
think it,
don't worry about
and
me.
you're going to burn that right now, because if you don't, I want you to
We
get
don't
the
own
hell out
this
of my
content,
house.
but this is from
Yeah,
her.
but from the back, it look crazy.
Oh
That
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
going back
not the
too.
back. Yeah,
yeah, the back look
that's
crazy.
crazy.
Oh,
That's
man.
crazy, man.
Yeah.
Man.
She got body.
Damn, man,
But let
what's
me tell
going
you right
on here?
now, her
You're
husband
right,
is
bro. It
a
belongs in the bedroom, man. That's right, brother. I'm
her
with you,
husband is
man.
a cuckold. I don't know how to pronounce it. He want to see his wife being looked at like that and being lusted over. He might want to see her get done in. And I'm
Now,
just
now,
saying,
now, now, listen,
sorry.
now, listen. Now we have an exception, right? So I has they say Beyonce, right? So it's like, listen, Beyonce is. I can see if Ciara was active in the field doing stuff. This was Vanity Fair. You're on the red carpet. Everybody's seeing this. What you're necessarily a housewife. You need to be focused on because you got to understand. He gonna have opponents who be like, yeah, your wife look good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay, and
slide
she's
it.
a. There, some people say she's a pop star though. She's a yeah, but Nicki Minaj did look at these people. Nicki been but she
I
still
wa-
keeping
but
a
I
certain
but I,
class.
I
Like
don't know. She ain't put out music since
Hey,
like
y'all
04,
cover a book.
05. I
no,
don't think
but
that's a
people will
pop
say
star.
she a pop star and then try
Nah,
to give
nah,
her that
nah,
leeway because of that. But
nah.
even like you could name the pop stars, they don't do that unless they're a ratchet, F list, B list
Right.
celebrity out there. They don't do that type of shit. Let alone married to a fucking NFL fucking rich motherfucker.
And
Please.
and we and listen, we know his morals and how Christian he is. So why would you even carry
Said I
yourself
think
like
that's
that
why I think they
to?
That's
over it.
right.
That's why I
No,
think
I don't think they over because I don't. He in love with that woman. I'm not gonna quit. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that's not something that reflects his brand and him as a man. And
that's
listen,
why
he
I think they
married
over.
you.
That
But
don't
Out of
look,
all
reflect
the
any brand, any
I
man's
think
brand.
they
Does
over,
that
but we
reflect
will
your
see.
brand?
Remember Bush said it though.
you said what?
Does that reflect your brand?
No, okay. Now listen, like you have an iced tea that'll want a cocoa out there like that because that reflects his brand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
but yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
have certain situations where that can reflect your brand, but most part when y'all
I didn't even
married,
see Coco wear no fully see-through body outfit ever.
Hey, I
I
saw
think
her
nah,
wearing
Yeah,
some
I
she
ain't
tight
never
wear
got no
outfits,
wear
but
I
fully.
no,
don't
bikinis
she
and
know.
be
was.
out at the beach or something. But I ain't never see her out like that
Cheeks
full
out,
Yeah,
on
cheeks out.
I
everything
mean,
Yeah,
out.
she was wearing Sheen. I could have
yeah.
made that.
Hold on, was that a Sheen dress?
Yeah, that shit was see through.
Okay,
Straight
you talking about as
see-through.
far as the quality of the material be thin and all that.
Yeah, it's straight see through.
I'm talking
Right.
about see-through. I'm talking about the fact that we seen everything.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's disrespect. But you know you gonna fight against people who say no, this, but they don't
That
get like
and it ain't
principles and morals and ethics as far as no, you're a mother, you're a wife. You don't necessarily want to. You can get the same result, but just being classy and graceful.
exactly, and that's what I said.
Yeah.
Lori Harvey looked beautiful in her dress, and she
And like
kept it
we,
classy. She had
yeah,
some
Oh, wow.
issues,
Yeah,
thank you.
but
what's
she
his name?
still
Steve
I
classy.
Harvey's
mean,
wife, right?
but she's
No,
actually
his
smelled
daughter.
the.
She's
I ain't gonna go there. I
hot
ain't gonna go
commodity
there.
too.
I ain't gonna
But
go there.
and just like we talk about the football player
She
examples,
looked good at the Oscars. That's what I'm
even
saying.
worse
This is
for
what
Yeah.
little girls. We talk about
yeah,
examples and role models. It's even worse for little girls. Now you got a
exactly.
little girl underage looking at that. Like, come on, like for real. Like,
And
Yeah,
some
well, that's
people,
where it gets dangerous, man.
They city girled out, so that's minimum.
yeah, but hey, there's no hope for city girls. I'm talking about a married Ciara who we know got some sense.
Okay,
You know,
okay, yeah.
and I love her as an artist. I will never hate on her as an artist. I still love her music and everything, but like this was just a bridge too far for me.
and some people gonna be like, y'all are shaming her for showing her body and showing
I'm
this.
not
She got
shaming her for
it's
showing her
women's
body. I was just
liberation.
it's an appropriate
See,
place.
that's what I'm saying. Women liberation, that body positivity movement, that's a tough mountain to fight, man. People don't
That's right,
I'm
bro.
not
understand.
fighting the
But
mountain.
That's
As a
right, man.
woman, I am saying there are certain things that should just be at home.
I'm,
That's
I'm
what I
I'm not
feel
trying to
for.
fight it. It's as simple as, like I said, role models,
See, but
and
look,
you
Yeah.
want your
let me
little
get some
girl to look
context
like that.
though.
That's all.
Let me get some context now. Years ago, they had pictures of her on the practice field with Russell Wilson with the baby, and everybody was like, "Look, don't you make enough for that baby to be? You know, won't y'all build separate without that? He taking pictures with the brand, and I understand y'all trajectory,
Right,
but
right.
at the time, it was like, look, don't do that, don't, you know what I'm saying? But you got to fight against
Because
that.
Yeah,
So it's like, but when you
yeah,
talking
that's true,
principles
man.
and you're not supposed to carry it that way, regardless of how serious y'all is, you still not you still got a mountain to fight. So it's like,
That's
but
right.
here's the thing. I mean, they were right? Because like here we are 5, 7 years later and Sierra's butt naked. So
That's right.
I mean, if
Yeah, I know. Crazy.
you want to keep your brand, maybe you cheating. Yeah, but anyway.
Yeah, I
And
don't
on
know
that
what.
note,
I don't know.
wish
Yeah.
you can give the
Y'all
close
got
out boy.
daughters. I don't got no daughters. Whatever. I'm out of it. I ain't saying nothing.
My daughter would never.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Your daughter grown, but you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but she
Jimmy
got
daughter
close.
grown too. But y'all know what I'm saying about the role models and the examples. That's all.
Yeah. No, I
Like,
feel you on that. I feel you all day on that.
she's a person that has a certain amount of prestige she had. You know what I mean? She just threw it all away just to be.
yeah,
Look
that was
at
it.
me,
That's
thought
it.
body. Okay, you want to be thought body? You thought body. Thotty yaddy yaddy. And yeah, we all lusting after you. They are.
Right.
I got a girl, but I'm just saying. You know, you want that, you got it.
Everybody
Sometimes
seen
I
it.
see sometimes I know we about to close it out, but sometimes I see him going backwards. Like they'll fight their whole like Steph Curry kind of had a little situation like this. Like, listen, the point was to get a man that was faithful and married, making millions to, and then not get there, get comfortable, and say, you know what? I want attention from dudes. I
Yeah,
want to show my body off. You're
yeah.
going backwards.
Crazy.
Backwards,
And
backwards.
as the old folks used to say, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Thank
Yeah,
you, thank
yeah.
you. Keep the shit sacred.
Yeah.
Man, no
Some things.
matter what, it's a moral issue, man, period. Like
I
you
It's a
mean,
said,
it
moral.
can
bro.
It's a
be
moral issue. It's a moral
the
issue.
It's a
bikini.
moral
That would have been
issue.
fire. Yeah, yeah. But
Horrible.
on that note, folks, we gave our opinions. We don't own the right to Bobby Caldwell's music, but we were playing it just to give you guys a feel.
Yes, sir.
All
Rest
of
in peace to
our
Bobby Caldwell.
rest in peace. All of our feedback was some opinions, some facts. They mixed in there, so don't take us to the bank. But at any rate, on that note, we're going to say goodnight to y'all until next week. Thanks for joining us.
Good night.
Wish you got any closeout words?
Yeah, good night to everybody. Please, if you can, go ahead and blow up that screen. Get Mace's address. Shoot him a letter. Shoot him a kite. He would very much appreciate it.
Like
And
and subscribe, man. Like and subscribe,
and
man. We
like and
need that.
subscribe for
Right.
sure. My boy always looking out because that's where we headed. But the subscribers are going up slowly but surely. We're getting about 60, 70 a month. So we going to get there. And once we hit that 100,000, ain't no stopping because we
We
going to
going
that
for
million.
organic over artificial, man.
Yeah, this
That's
is
the movement
organic though.
right
That's
there.
why it's
That's
so
right, man.
slow.
All
That's the
organic.
It's
movement
all
right
That's
there.
organic.
right.
But shout out to everybody. We love y'all.
All
We
right, man.
love
We
you,
out.
Jimmy. Anything?
Hey, man, just be good to each other, respect each other, and try to be a better human being, man.
All
Look in
right.
the mirror and ask yourself, what am I doing wrong?
You're doing everything right. You guys have a good night.
That's right, baby.
All right.
All right.
Glad